The opposition is accusing this government so much of nepotism.
Yes.
They say that it's an Achim government, an Achim mafia, and so on. I could quote for you.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, they have names of people that they have mentioned. In fact, it said 50 people. Sami Jemfi, National Communications Director or Officer of the NDC, says over 50 people in the government are close relatives of Akufo-Addo. For a party that campaigned against Mahama over nepotism for having his brother in government, you shouldn't be doing the same thing.
Let me start with what you said by calling me a de facto prime minister. And my explanation to that is that perhaps because of the work I'd done prior to Akufo-Addo being elected, the expectation was that I was going to be appointed. You know, so even when you are not appointed, and really between you and I, if I had been offered an appointment, would it have been fair for any Ghanaian to have said it's due to nepotism?
You would have merited it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't want to look beyond Gabby.
But that same argument would have been thrown in the previous administration.
No, but I'm just, well, name the person. I think that's what matters. Name the person. Because I'm not even on any board. Okay? I'm not on any board. I'm not an appointment of, not even a parastatal. I mean, nothing of that sort. Yet, if I had been appointed, they would not have looked at what I had done in the past. They would not have looked at my record or my capacity.
They would have simply looked at your family.
I'm related to him, you know. And on the list of the 50 or so, I saw Olive.
Yeah, I could run through. In fact,
no, but I saw Nana Bedi-Etu's mother.
Yes.
And you know, Nana Bedi-Etu's mother was very unhappy when she saw her picture.
Okay.
And first of all, she has no appointment.
She's in government.
You know, not at all. But she was unhappy because she thought the picture they used was not complimentary.
Was it good looking? Or is that her big?
That was the biggest problem. I mean,
not that she's being accused wrongly.
No,
but because the picture was not beautiful.
The picture was not complimentary.
Okay, let me bring you a few
Who is
more.
that? Can they call me and I give them a better picture?
So that the tabloid will look nicer. You know, look, these are some names that have been thrown. Now, it's good that I give them. So Kofi-Darko Asante chairs the governing council of GIMPA. That's his brother.
Kofi-Darko Asante would be the father.
Okay.
Who was the I think the executive secretary, even under Akufo, the executive secretary of the Energy Commission.
Okay, so he's been in the government.
So I'm just saying.
Okay.
You know, so
okay. They said his mother, which you have already explained, then, but it says she's head of the presidential household, and that's not true.
She has absolutely nothing to do with
Okay,
it.
Asante Bedi-Etu's brother, Kwesi Kuntu Asante.
Yes.
Is that someone who is in government? He sits on the board of Ghana Hostels.
Does he?
I don't know.
What I do know is that he owns a restaurant, and he was in the business in New York and has a lot of expertise. But I to be honest with you, I don't even know if it's...
Nana Asante Bedi-Etu's sister, Loretta Asante, is one of the 3 deputy director generals, directors general, I beg your pardon, at SNIT.
And you know what I would say? Look at SNIT and look at the gains they have made. You know, you can be specific and even look at where she is. She is in charge of operations. In terms of increasing the number of people who actually pay SNIT contributions and the rest of it. You know, so, you know, it's the same argument with the size of the government. You know, you can make a strong case and say the size of the government is huge. But then when you look at you look at the performance, because the president has the discretion to choose the people who can help him execute his program. Okay? So he does that. He will face criticism. But then you have to look at the performance. You have to look at, I mean, for instance, if you look at last year, expenditure on goods and services was even below what Parliament approved, voted for. Okay? Yet, on compensation, they managed to pay. On capital expenditure, they almost met their target. You know, even though revenues were down, okay? But in terms of the amount of money that is spent on government as compared to the benefits that we are getting from government, I think that's what we should look at.
Okay, so we'll get to the economic, the arguments on the economy, but let's clear this. If it is right now under Akufo-Addo to have his family in government, including his daughter, who has been mentioned here, Jan Krumah, why is it wrong for John Mahama? Also, okay, if it's right now, why was it wrong?
No, you're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
Because I never spoke against John Mahama's government as cronyism. You never go look at all my posts. I had no interest in that. And I had no interest for a very good reason. I want to look at, is the president. You've been given the mandate. You have the right to choose the people that you think can deliver for you. Are they delivering or not? You know, are they, I mean, if you look, you mentioned a list of 50. And a list of 50 include friends and people you have known. Now, first of all, I'm not going to appoint my enemies or my opponents
into
to be into my government. That's
unreasonable.
I mean, and you know, if you are not going to, if you can't appoint your friends, okay, or people that you know, if I say friends, maybe I'm simplifying it. If you can't appoint people that you know can help you deliver, then who can you appoint? But you know, and I think sometimes society is also unfair to my family. And I will say so because it is not uncommon for societies to have some families that have historically dedicated a big chunk of their lives to serving the public good, in public service and the rest of it. Okay? And my family happens to be that. They fought against even the colonial masters. They were part of it. The big six, you can find about 3 of them in there, Akufo-Addo's family. Even the opposing Nkrumah's government. Nkrumah's finance minister was an uncle, Nkrumah's interior minister. So when you look at it from that point of view, almost every government has had them because it's just, that's what they do. So
it's a family of politics, and so you're just reaping the benefits of your forefathers. I mean, what your forefathers sowed over the generations. Is that what you're?
I don't think that's fair.
Okay.
If you say reaping the benefit, it's like continuing with a tradition, and it's a tradition of public service. You know, so reaping the benefit. So my point is that if there are over 50, so I'm trying to explain. They are not over 50. So I mean, first of all,
I'm just saying, even if they are,
I do not think that you can find, even regardless of the fact that my granddad had over 100 children. Oh, okay. And
he's been working, huh?
And educated all of them. Yes, yes. He was quite prolific in his days. You know? And educated them. And if you look at it, it's not just politics. It's not just politics. I mean, you go to Dr. Susanna Freata. There's so many of them, you know, across. You know, so, and even now, we are benefiting from some of them. I mean, the chap at Noguchi is a cousin. He's never been in politics, but somehow, this is Professor Ampofo, okay? But somehow, his job has brought him into the public domain.
Okay.
You know, was he appointed by the president?
So Gabby does not run the government. Gabby doesn't call ministers and say, hey, do this or do that. Sign this deal or don't sign that. It doesn't happen.
Why would I do that?